Warlock, 11th Hour, destroy 15, then 30 minions with deadline. Now, still, we haven't really gotten out of just play a card a number of times and make it happen. But at least deadline, I think, is a fun card. What it does is it destroys a minion for 2. That's great, right? But it's temporary. And temporary means it will be discarded at the end of your turn. But it's tradable. So if you can't or don't want to use it immediately, you can throw it back in your deck. But what you can't do is hold this in your hand for exactly the perfect moment. And for that reason, the tide pool pupil trick that we've been doing isn't going to be nearly as effective, because we can't just hold this in our hand waiting for the tide pool pupil to show up. And if we draw a tide pool pupil, then we wouldn't really be able to cast other spells until this shows up, because we wouldn't want to hit that 3 and make the discover not work for us. So instead of that, I think I'm just going to include a few other discover effects to try to get more copies of Deadline. In particular, the Scarab Keychain discovers a 2-cost card, which Deadline would be in that pool, so that's one way to narrow the discovery a little bit. But let's see what else I can put together. Oh, we do have a couple of things that actually can possibly work out. We have the Sketch Artist, which will draw a shadow spell, and it is the only shadow spell in our deck, and get a temporary copy of it. Now, of course, it's already a temporary card, so this could be a way to get the deadline when you want it. You could hold on to the Sketch Artist for as long as you need. Also, I think I had been forgetting about and not talking about the Dryscale Deputy. So the battle cry, the next time you draw a spell, you get a copy of it. So I could throw this down, and then whenever I do get, well, the only other thing that I could get would be a Fracking. But if I get a copy of a Fracking, then, I mean, that's a decent chance to be able to pull a deadline from that. But yeah, so this could potentially get a copy of the deadline. And then also, the Death Knight Tourist allows us to get Soul Searching, which will discover a copy from your deck and spend 5 corpses to get a copy of it. And then the rest of my deck is just basically trying to draw quickly and one card here to take advantage of having few cards in my deck. So, yeah, let's see how many times I can manage to pull a deadline.
Nemzi versus Valera.
Watch your back.
Not in my kitchen.
There would be literally no point in keeping one of the deadlines in your opening hand, because it costs 2 and it's temporary. So I do like having the Sketch Artist, though. This is like having a deadline on tap. I think I will go ahead and do it now. I still have another deadline in my deck to do with this stuff.
This treasure ain't fit for a pirate.
As much as I would like to do that, it's not going to kill me yet. I will do that.
The snake in your boot.
One person's treasure is my treasure.
Fins where I can see 'em. They'll defeat an undead king.
Oh, the soul searching is temporary, is shadow. Okay, that's unfortunate.
Yep, I'll get right on it. Symphony of darkness. This treasure ain't fit for a pirate. The snake in your boot. Enjoy your trip. Now this is treasure. Let's slide on that thing. This may just be my best song yet.
Whoa, too many cars.
And that was the other deadline. Well, I can't make any more progress, so...
Incredible. Well played.
Now you're cooking.
Well
That was not a good game for progress, but I do want to keep it in because I did find some relevant stuff out there, namely about the Death Knight card from the Tourist also being a shadow spell, which I didn't pay enough attention to when I was building the deck, and that did prevent me from making 2 progress on the achievement because pulled the I pulled the Death Knight card instead of the deadline I was expecting to when I used the card that draws a shadow spell with the effect of doubling the next spell that you draw. And then the other one at the very end, it was just bad luck that the deadline got burned from a full hand. I don't think there was a reasonable way for me to prevent that from happening in that situation. So, yeah, while this game sucked, I don't think it's necessarily the worst deck. I may want to reconsider that Death Knight card that discovers a card in my deck, though, because it it may not discover one of the deadlines, but it certainly can disrupt you getting deadlines when you want them. So, yeah, good to know. All right, you have a good one.